my brother. And now you'll die for it!
Vanished again?
Listen carefully and keep your eyes peeled. How about this?
How dare you all!
Reload! Eat this! One for that.
Eat this!
Here I come!
Flame of fury!
You're finished!
I'm jumping in!
Let me help. That's it!
I'm on it! I'll end you! First strike! You're done!
Look sharp!
First strike! You're done! Burning tiger blade! Rolling snap!
You picked the wrong fight!
Mega red! Let the marksman hit! First strike!
Pierce through!
You're done! Now you see what I can do!
Take that off! You're finished!
Off like both! Here, let me help!
You're
Come and
mine!
get it!
Flying
Talon
Alpha!
storm!
Raining slash!
Searing flame! Reload!
Going in!
Talon hurricane!
Rising up!
Eat this! You're
Dragon
done!
Shield.
How dare you
Pierce
apart!
through!
Eat this! You're done!
Let me help. Look sharp!
You see what happened there as you crossed me. Shouldn't have done that.
Tiger through!
Talon storm! I really owe you one. I'll end you! I'm on it!
Eat dirt!
I'll run you through! First strike! You're done!
Appreciate the help.
Dragon form!
First strike! That freaking does it! I'll run you through! I'm on it!
Finish it!
Shion! Get toasty! Bird strike!
Here I come!
I'm on it! I'll end you!
This one's mine!
Inferno turret!
Tiger blade!
Rising
I'm
Wind!
on it! I'll end you!
Going in!
Rising
Here, let me
Dragon!
help.
I owe you one!
I'm on a roll, man! Here comes something big!
Try to dodge!
I'll stop its charge!
Thanks, Kisara.
Piercing roll! Denied!
Now, while it's reeling!
Take it down!
Going in!
I'll end you! I can carve through armor!
I never miss!
Eat this! You're done!
Look sharp!
Talon storm!
Here, let me help! Tiger blade! Appreciate the help!
I'll fix you
Demon
up!
Fang!
Eat this! I'll end that
Here's
freaking
a
does
healing
it!
art! First aid!
That...
An astral art?
That's my cue!
Shut him down!
That freaking does it! Rolling snap!
Here's a healing art! First
I
aid!
owe you one for that!
I'll bring you back from death's abyss!
First strike!
Resuscitate!
First strike! I'll run you
First
through!
aid!
That's much better. Watch it!
Lightning!
Eat this!
Hear me! Flame of fury!
Down!
Let
You're close.
me help!
I don't have no time!
Here's evil!
Lightning
Look sharp!
Talon hurricane!
Here's a healing art! First aid!
It's over!
First strike! I'll tear you apart! It's go time!
Get ready!
Rising Wyvern! Stardust!
Searing
Here we
flame!
go
Reload!
again.
I'm out! Here, let me help!
Piercing roll!
I really owe you one.
Going in!
Almost!
Guardian field! I'm ready to go!
Not today!
First strike!
Here, this one's
Armor
mine!
won't save you!
First
I
aid!
owe you one for that! Far enough!
It's gonna attack!
Right, watch out!
Going in!
Here's a healing art!
First strike!
Rising Wyvern!
You're done!
Lightning!
Here,
Flame of fury!
Burning strike! Eat this!
I'm almost impressed.
High praise coming from you.
I said almost. Don't get carried away.
Double Demon Fang!
Eat this! I'll end you! Watch it!
You're
Tiger
mine!
storm!
It's over!
Searing flame!
First strike! I'll end you!
Let me help.
I'm on it! I'll end you! Lightning
I'm on
strike!
it! You're broken!
Talon Hurricane!
This one's mine!
Double Demon Fang!
Watch it! Swallow Blade! Hook shot!
Here,
Talon Hurricane!
Tiger Blade!
I'm on it!
Not today!
This one's mine!
First strike! I'll end
Go
you!
in,
Double
healing
Demon
arm.
Fang!
That's
it!
Rising
Blade!
Blade!
Snap!
Here, let me help. I'm ready. Going in.
This isn't looking good!
I never miss.
First strike!
Going in.
You're done! Now you see what I can do!
Here I
Tiger
come!
Blade!
You're done!
Here, let me help.
I'm Alpha! I
This
am
one's
ready!
mine. Tiger Blade!
I'm
Here's a healing arm. This one's mine. Do it!
Hurricane!
Kisara, I'll stop your movement.
And I'll stop your run!
You filthy slaves are despicable!
Your dreams of attaining lordship are no more. Give up, Kelzelik.
Attaining lordship? Ridiculous. Only those who possess a master core can become a lord. What, did you think just anyone could do it?
But then, what were you trying to accomplish with this? Didn't you betray your lord?
Yes, that's true. However, there are other lords.
Other lords? So you mean...
At last, the truth is revealed.
Dohalim, where have you been this whole time?
Cleaning up. Kelzelik, you've made your last of these.
The fruit of Helgen?
It can't be. You found my production facility?
Correct. And I tore it down. But something still troubles me. It's clear that this is no ordinary fruit. Nor was the equipment used to grow it. You couldn't have done all this without outside assistance. Indeed. Something like this must have come from another realm. Tsar, perhaps?
You actually expect me to talk now? At this point, the contest for the crown will be over soon enough, and you will finally receive the punishment you deserve for your weakness.
I've already received my punishment. May this be my final act, as the Lord of Elder Menencia. Go. To Mahag Sar, Ganeth Haros, wherever you think you'll find a suitable lord.
Are you all right with this? He killed your brother after all.
He did. But then I thought, he's nothing more than one common, ordinary Renan. He's not worthy of my time or my anger, right?
So after everything, was the dream of coexisting just a dream? What is that?
Those are the cheers of the brave Dahnans who overpowered Kelzelik's forces.
Wait, they challenged the Renans?
Indeed. A militia made up of Dahnan guardsmen, Renan supporters, and of course, the Gold Dust Cats.
Do we have you to thank for bringing them all together?
Regardless of what your original motivations were, your dream of coexistence saved countless lives. And now, those people out there are fighting to keep that dream alive. That's something real.
Be that as it may, they do so now by their own hands. These people no longer need any lord.
Where are you going?
To put an end to the crown contest. So long as its madness persists, peace will remain ever out of reach. I cannot allow it to continue.
The crown contest impacts far more than just the Dahnans. You're choosing to fight Lenegis and the entire Empire.
I am well aware. However, If I wish to keep this dream from dying, then I have little choice in the matter. Besides, it's the least I can do.
So you're gonna go out there and make that dream real on your own?
You may be decided on your path, but that doesn't make it any less difficult.
Why not walk that road with us?
Pardon?
You heard me. We're fighting to liberate the Dahnans. You're fighting for the people of this realm. I'd say we're on the same path, really. It would only make sense for us to walk it together.
Dahnan dissidents, side by side with a Renan lord? Not the least intriguing invitation I've received. An invitation which would only be proper courtesy for me to accept.
I'll take that as a yes.
Hey, where'd Kisara go? I don't see her anywhere.
Maybe she just needed some time alone. A lot's happened.
That makes sense. She did just lose her brother after all.
We ought to keep moving as well. So long as there are lords who draw breath, we have a mission to complete. Kisara's a big girl. I'm sure she can handle herself. We should hurry on ahead to our next destination.
I guess you're right. And it is a lot safer here than it was. What do you think, Dohalim?
I am not sure I have the right to say anything as far as Kisara is concerned.
Fair enough. Well, I, for one, would like to say goodbye if we get a chance. Let's keep an eye out for her as we leave.
What's Kisara? Are going to do now? Where did Kisara run off to?
You don't think she took off after Kelzelik, do you?
No. Nagal entrusted her with his dream. She wouldn't do something reckless like that. Right now, I think she just needs time to think. What she does from here on out is up to her. She has to be the one to decide.
Where did Kisara run off?
You don't think she took off after Kelzelik, do you?
No. Nagal entrusted her with his dream. She wouldn't do something reckless like that. Right now, I think she just needs time to think. What she does from here on out is up to her. She has to be the one to decide.
sense one of your friends, Hootle?
You all arrived here from Cislodia, yes? In that case, you should depart via the south gate, rather than the one you arrived through.
After all that, Kisara never came back to see us.
I'm surprised she slipped away without us noticing. Where would she even go? I hope this place survives. You think the Dahnans and Renans have a chance of getting along? We didn't really do much to change things around here, did we?
This realm had its own walls to overcome. And in the end, it was the people themselves who decided to break them down, without any help from us. I hope they keep going, I really do.
Yeah, well, if you say so, I guess. Huh?
All right. I leave command of the Gold Dust Cats in your hands.
You've got nothing to worry about, Kisara. I'll do your brother proud.
Looks like it's time to go. Take good care of Zare for me. All right, Legil?
You've got it. Stay safe, Kisara.
Did you come to say goodbye?
Actually, I was wondering if you could use another companion.
Huh?
Well, we certainly don't mind you coming along. We just figured you'd stay behind and help rebuild. These people could use you.
I thought much the same thing. However, in the end, something changed my mind. Ever since Miguel died, I've been thinking a lot. About where I went wrong, what I should have done differently. You know, that sort of thing. It's true that our dream of coexistence saved many Dahnan lives, but we were naive and short-sighted. I was so wrapped up in my idea of how things should be that I didn't see the problems that existed right in front of us. I thought we had been given a utopia. And so I never bothered to look too far past its surface. I chose to be ignorant. And because of that, because of me, my brother...
Miguel's death wasn't your fault, Kisara.
Perhaps you're right. But in the end, it was me he entrusted this dream to. I learned that nothing in this life is free, or gained without sacrifice. Now that I know that, I'll just have to figure out what else I don't know.
So, decided to join us?
I have. And hopefully I can continue to protect Eldaman and Sia from outside the dream world, for the sake of those still inside.
And here I thought you joined for an opportunity on my life.
In all honesty, I'm grateful to you. I truly am. I don't blame you for what happened. But I must also leave your service. No longer will I be defined by protecting a Renan lord. From now on, when I fight to protect my dream. All I ask is that you do your part, that you fight alongside me, not just for those who used to believe in your dream, but for those that still do. Dohalim.
I understand. I'm no longer a lord anyway.
Well, this crew just gets bigger and bigger. All right, where to, team?
We make for Mahag Sar, the Valley of the Four Winds.
something.
Ma,
I'm amazed how easily you can move such a giant shield around like it's nothing.
Really? It's not actually as heavy as it looks.
It's really reassuring to have someone like you protecting us, though.
You know, I guess I never realized it before, but looking back, I've always been the sort to put myself in harm's way to protect those around me, even before I joined the Eldermenancia Guard. So in a way, using this shield to keep you all safe feels like it's what I was meant to do.
you don't need to worry about protecting me. I don't plan on relying on you.
That's okay. It doesn't matter if you do or not. I don't protect people because they ask me to. I do it because I want to, and because I think it's the right thing to do. That goes for you too, Dohalim.
Me?
Yes. You see, you and I both want the same thing. We have the same goal. That means it's in my best interest to continue to protect and keep you safe as well. Even now.
I'm not sure how much protecting I'll need either, but I appreciate the thought. I'm sure you'll do us proud, Kisara.
Right. You can all count on me.
What was Kelzalek even after in the end?
Isn't it obvious? Clearly he wanted the throne for himself, and was gonna have his goons execute Dohalim to get it.
He had to have known he couldn't hope to defeat a lord. He should have run while he had the chance, instead of holding himself up in the palace.
Maybe he thought he couldn't run? Either way, the outcome's the same.
So he got desperate and decided to go for broke?
One might argue that he was another victim of mine, in a sense.
Huh?
There is no greater calling in life to a Renan than the crown contest, yet I refused to take part. The shock he felt at that must have been truly immense. Enough to drive him to revolt, even though doing so meant defying Renan hierarchy.
I know I've said this before, but Dahnans and Renans wouldn't coexist here if it wasn't for your stance.
But that was no lofty idealism on my part, nor do I feel any pride at what occurred.
Spare us the pity party. You literally just joined us to uphold those ideals.
Shion?
No, she is absolutely correct. I shall speak no more of my misgivings.
Ow!
Resonate with the earth!
It's over!
Stalagmite!
Tough field!
Rising Falcon! First strike! Sonic
If they rush you, you gotta jump for cover, okay?
Hey! Blow them away!
Flame of fury!
Acceptable.
You picked the wrong fight!
Glacial spear!
Resonate with the earth! Stalagmite! I'm on! Here I come! One hit!
Quite necessary when creating weaponry. Discourteous, aren't you?
Hear me! I'll tear you apart!
Damn it!
Does it hurt? Pierce evil!
Demon Fang! Double Demon Fang!
Nothing gets by me!
House it! Tornado Drive!
I'll stop its charge!
Give it away! Thanks, Kisara!
Double Demon Fang!
I thought you were going to wreck the place.
I'm not nearly finished yet.
Then I'll provide assistance however I can.
These little ones are hardly worth our time.
Less talking!
I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life!
Let's keep our eyes on the prize.
Let's see what you've got.
Come on! Talon Sword! I'll face you!
By the power of water!
Sword Rain Alpha!
I'll tear you apart!
Pierce
No
evil!
further!
Freeze Lancer!
Resonate with the earth! This one's finish it! Light Burst Force!
Radiant Genesis!
Charge like that could easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop it.
I wonder if we can make new weapons with this.
A fish! You saw it too.
I didn't realize there was a pond here.
Yeah, this is Taka Pond. And it happened to have saved my life once upon a time.
What do you mean?
As a kid, I survived life under the past lords by escaping here when I needed to. It's terrible to swim in, but great for catching a bite for dinner away from Renan eyes.
Bear in mind, our rations back then weren't enough to live off of. You had to take matters into your own hands if you wanted enough food to survive.
But how did you catch them? With your bare hands?
That might take a while. Fish are prone to swim away at the first sign of trouble.
I'd put bait or a lure on a line and use it with a fishing rod.
You must not be familiar with fishing if this sounds new to you. Here, let me show you how it's done.
You're still not done fishing yet? Boring.
You need patience to fish. Reel it in. I'll catch something bigger next time.
You take your fishing pretty seriously.
Reel it in. I'll catch something bigger next time.
Could have been worse. At least you caught something.
And that's all there is to it.
Wow. It seems like you need to have good reflexes to catch anything. I don't know if it's really for me. Kisara? I think I've seen enough.
Oh, sorry. I guess I'm just in my own little world when I go fishing. That's how fishing goes. You wait for a bite, and then the real battle begins.
Miguel told me that different fish live in different regions, and you have to pick the right rod and lure for what you're hoping to catch.
But that doesn't change the fact it's a giant time sink.
Of course, each fish has its own unique flavor, too. And some of them are supposed to be extremely delicious.
When you put it like that, maybe it's worth me trying my hand at fishing after all.
You're just in it for the food.
I was hoping we'd get to fish during our travels. And it just so happens I made sure to grab my brother's old rod before I left Vicente. So, if you ever feel like fishing when we've got a little downtime, just let me know.
Good to hear. Thanks for showing us.
Okay!
We should be able to cook.
Hey. Is it just me, or have those two barely spoken a single word to one another?
I know, right? But after everything that happened with Miguel, is it really any wonder?
Kinda puts a damper on the whole journey though, huh? How long do you think they're gonna keep this up?
If it bothers you that much, why don't you ask them?
Why do I have to ask?
How come you walk together like that?
She really doesn't beat around the bush.
You mean Kisara and myself?
You hadn't noticed? You've been practically joined at the hip ever since we left Vicente.
I guess it's force of habit, most likely. I was always ready to protect him, should the need arise. It sort of came with the job description.
Right. From being in the Elder Menancia Guard. Although, Dohalim's pretty capable of defending himself, isn't he?
Having guards doesn't necessarily mean the one being guarded is weak. No one's perfect all the time.
Even so, it's not like they're entirely wrong, Kisara. You're no longer in my employ, after all.
I don't know. I mean, if it's what she's used to and you're both comfortable with it, then who are we to judge?
But she doesn't serve him anymore. It isn't normal for her to keep following him around like she still does.
You know, she's probably right. And a lot has changed over the last few days. I guess it wouldn't hurt to rethink our relationship in light of the new circumstances. Perhaps I'll give it some thought after all. Does that sound all right by you?
Of course.
You might want to stop asking his permission for every little thing while you're at it.
Sorry. It's not that easy, shaking off old habits. I'll probably need a little time to get fully used to it.
Something feels odd here. Be on your guard.
This one's tough, but we have no choice.
Let me know if you need healing.
Alpha! Eternal devastation! I'm on!
Radiant Cloud Hurricane! I'm not so good with airborne targets.
You're finished!
Flying free!
Denied!
Why can't they just sit still?
Sion, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done. Burning
You're mine!
Spear!
You're
Pierce
finished!
evil!
Eat this!
Can you take it?
Freeze
You're
all!
not you!
Shattering pieces! Kisara!
I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life!
Pierce through!
I can carve through armor!
I'm ready! Totally! In an instant! Impact block! We work well together.
Like a finely timed waltz.
Eat this! Onward and upward.
We should be able to cook here.
Something feels odd here. Be on your guard. All right. There's nowhere to run from my artist.
When he slows down, that's our chance!
It's like trying to keep up with a wolf!
Can't get out of this!
Here I come! It's over!
I'll face you! Take this!
You're mine!
Swallow dance!
You're mine!
Take this! I'm on!
Here I come!
Can you take it?
Megasonic thrust! Sword Rain Alpha!
I'll face you!
Here!
Watch this!
Here I come!
In a bind?
First strike! I'm ready!
It's over! Astral energy! Full throttle!
Lightning thrust!
only getting
Elusive
closer.
First strike!
I'll end you!
Talon Storm! Here!
It's time!
Got some interesting moves there, Dohalim. I'm glad you're on our side.
I'm simply glad to hear that I can make myself useful to you all. Huh?
What's wrong?
We seem to have come across some rather unusual objects.
What, you mean that pile of garbage?
No mere garbage, I assure you. Still, I've never seen anything shaped like it before. I'm intrigued.
Are you curious about this stuff, Rinwell?
Yeah. I think he might have found some old Dahnan relics. They look like the remains of a bunch of objects that disappeared after the Renans first invaded.
And yet here I am, holding them without so much as a second thought. I imagine the sight must be unsettling to you.
Not really, just that it must be nice to be a Renan who has time to indulge in stuff like that, unlike the rest of us.
Are you interested in this stuff too, Dohalim?
Charmed may be a better turn of phrase. I simply love objects that can give me a sense of what their maker was thinking, the history that went into their creation. You see, we Renans have hardly any such objects that trace back to our distant past.
I still don't understand what you two find so intriguing about it, though.
Why not? We're talking about our own culture here.
I get that, but it's not like this stuff is any use now, does it? It's just old. Real old.
Oh, but it does. Holding it in your hands like this, one can feel and engage with the distant past in a way no history book can ever accomplish.
I'll take your word for it. Well, seeing as it's Dahnan history, just make sure you're careful with it. All right, Dohalim?
But of course.
Our work is done here. Let's move.
I've noticed that sometimes we come across enemies who fight like you, and try to dodge our attacks at the last second.
I hate those guys. I can get some hits in when they move into attack, but otherwise they slip past damn near everything else I throw at them.
If what you're seeking is a way to more reliably hit them, there is a solution.
Try to outclass them on reflexes?
I possess the ability to command Earth elemental beings to some extent. They emerge as the land itself and take root on my command. They will swiftly bind the enemies, at which point you can dispatch them.
Huh?
What he means is that he can make plants grow to hold the enemies in place. At least I think that's probably what he's saying.
I'm glad at least one of us understands him. So basically, if we find an enemy that likes to dodge, we should let Dohalim handle it.
I shall do what I can within my modest means to help. Visibility along this path will remain limited for some time. Take care not to get ambushed.
I'm surprised you know the terrain here so well. Lords don't strike me as having much time for wandering in the woods.
Sometimes I would take strolls along here when I wished to be alone.
You always did have a bad habit of disappearing without telling any of us guardsmen.
Oh man, I hope I live long enough to regret this.
Here I come! Elusive Deity! Coming face me!
It's a duel of the arts!
No, pesky airborne scoundrel!
Sounds like a job for
You
you
picked the wrong fight! Elusive Deity!
I'm on it!
I'll run you through! Sonic, we've turned the tables on you!
There are still more left.
Right, no time to hold back!
Shattering pieces! Into the shadows!
Elusive Deity!
Prepare to be sealed. Actually, perhaps bound is more appropriate.
Less talking, more doing.
I'm in your deck, Dohalim.
And tonight's meal is on you.
You got it. It's Nick.
I'll thank you.
Do it!
Mom, get toasty!
Burn strike!
Right, next one.
Already on! Armor won't save you!
Take it. I'm only getting started.
Don't mind if I do.
Swallow blade!
Benediction light.
Dragon shout!
Throw the cross field.
Here I go. Try this.
Into the shadow.
Strike!
I'll thank you.
Take this!
Take this.
Do it!
Here I go. You're mine.
Explosive ring.
Into the shadow.
Dragon shout!
Gemini Aqua.
First strike! I'm ready!
Maxi Zara. Go for it.
Prepare to crumble!
We can really make weapons with this? Oh man, I hope I live long enough to regret this.
Where are you going?
Swallow dare! Begin!
Airborne beast. My spec.
I'm surrounded! Flying freaks! Why can't they just sit still?
Sion, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done.
This one's mine.
Elusive deity!
Arc Field.
Talon Swarm! Dragon Swarm!
Do it. This one's got your name on it.
Ashes to ashes. A merry distraction.
There's still more to go.
Elusive deity! First strike! I'll run you through! I'll finish you here and now! Take this! Swallow dance! You're done! Take this! Sword Rain Alpha! I'll run you through! It's showtime! Elusive deity! Finish this! Don't leave! Hey! Blow them away!
I'm impressed you managed to keep up.
Don't patronize me.
I just noticed none of you other Dahnans have spirit cores. Why is that?
Both of my parents were part of the resistance in Calaglia. In fact, my birth was kept a secret from the Renans.
Mine too. We always lived in hiding, so I never had a spirit core embedded in me like I was supposed to.
What about you, Alphen? You were a slave in Calaglia before all this, weren't you?
To be completely honest, I'm not sure why I don't have one. All the other Dahnan slaves around me did. I was the only exception. They tended to keep their distance from me to avoid attracting any attention from the soldiers, because of my mask and all. What about you, Kisara? Do you still have your spirit core?
No. I was able to find a good Renan doctor who's sympathetic to our kind, and had them remove it before I left. They did such a great job, the procedure didn't even leave a scar.
One of the benefits of coexistence, huh?
I know that once the spirit vessel was shut down, there wasn't much need for me to hurry. But still, I didn't like having that mark of servitude lingering on me any longer than I had to. It may sound a little strange to hear me say this, but I'm just me now. Not a guardsman or a slave. I'm my own woman, and this is my chance to have a new beginning.
This sure is one rugged road. You'd think they'd keep this at least a little better maintained, right?
Why spend energy fixing that which is rarely used? Repairs require time and effort, which in our world means slaves, often in great numbers. For you, it may be a simple request, but that can quickly become another's difficult burden. Nobody gains anything without someone expending effort.
And you know, somehow that someone always ends up being a Dahnan, while the Renans are the ones who gain.
True enough. Ideally, in a perfect world, I think it's only fair that the ones who need it should be the ones to perform the work.
However, when doing so could be dangerous like it is here, there are many who would prefer that it be others who risk their lives in their stead.
So, What you're saying is that people will just put up with the inconvenience until someone else comes along to fix it for them?
Indeed. And it is those who can no longer bear that feeling that inevitably take action. Much like the Dahnans in our group do so now. As strange as it may be to hear such a thing from the likes of myself.
It's true that most of the Dahnans in Calaglia have been resigned to just accepting things as they are. Still, we can't just blame them for...
What are you making that face for? You're not worn out already, are you?
Nah, just regretting I ever said anything in the first place.
I sure have built up a sweat with this hike.
Rest assured, we have reached the top. It's all downhill from here, quite literally.
So Mahag Sar's just up ahead then?
Indeed.
Oh man, I hope I live long enough to regret this.
Denied!
Again!
That's it!
Tammy, flame of fury!
Time to shine! Crumble!
Damn it!
Guardian field! All right, ready at it! Eat this! Crumble! Look sharp!
I never miss!
Take this! Here I go! Take this!
Tammy,
Look sharp!
flame of fury!
Guardian laser spear!
Here's evil!
Thunder!
Freeze laser!
You're done!
Not in your dreams!
I'm
only
Ignite!
Take this!
Mega ray!
You're done!
On guard!
Eat this!
Do it!
You're done!
Shion!
Go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
Think we overdid it?
Strike!
Not by a long shot!
Now you see what I can do!
Mirage!
I'm on it!
Time to shine!
I'll finish you here and now!
Glacial spear!
Down!
Here's
Oh,
evil!
Rising Falcon!
Freeze laser!
Swallow dance!
Glacial spear!
enough!
Here's evil! Do it!
Swallow dance!
Shion!
Go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
I can feel my precision improving.
Still thinking about how to act around Dohalim?
That obvious, huh? Except I don't think I'll be changing much after all. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to stay his servant. However, I am going to treat him like a fellow comrade, the same way I would with you or anyone else. For as long as I can remember, I've spent my life protecting others. But isn't that what friends do too? Support and protect one another in times of need?
Which in the end pretty much means doing as you've always done, right? If that's what you're most comfortable with, I'm certainly not going to give you any grief over it.
Actually, I've been thinking about how I ought to act around you all as well.
Oh?
When I set out on this journey, it was to rid Eldaman and Sia of its enemies, and search for wisdom in the outside world. Wisdom that I could potentially put to use on my return. I'm grateful to you all for letting me tag along. But it got me thinking, what am I actually contributing by being here?
What are you talking about? You know how to hold a weapon, don't you? That's help enough.
Is it though? Sometimes I wish there was more I could be doing to pull my...
Oops, sorry about that. Jeez, I'm famished.
Now that you mention it, what do you guys normally do for food and meals when you're out and about on your travels?
What do you mean, what do? We find stuff to eat and eat it. So long as it's meat, I'm not fussy.
Eating what you like can be good for morale in the short term, but you need to think about your diet if you want to stay healthy.
Does that mean eating vegetables too?
Isn't that obvious?
It does, which I guess hasn't been happening up till now.
Yeah, to be honest, we could be eating better than we do.
Understood. In that case, I'll just have to make sure you're all staying healthy and eating right myself. Fortunately, I happen to know a thing or two about cooking as well.
You hear that, Law? Sounds like you'll be eating your greens after all.
What is it?
No, sorry, it's just... I was just wondering if you had any thoughts on all this.
It will do her good to have a project.
No, not Kisara. I meant you. Was there anything you wanted to add?
Me? Certainly you're not looking to me for culinary skill, I hope.
Typical Renan, leaving everything to someone else.
Rinwell, I don't think...
That said, should you need my skills on the battlefield, please rest assured I have no intention of shirking my responsibilities, regardless of who we may face.
I'm sure no one doubts that. Listen, guys, if we're traveling together, we should probably at least try to make an effort to get to know one another, don't you think?
I wouldn't get your expectations too high in that regard. Believe it or not, sometimes I'm not sure I even know myself all that well.
Something wrong? You look like you're deep in thought.
Not exactly. I was merely thinking about you two and your sense of etiquette.
Oh?
Etiquette?
Indeed. To be quite frank, I find your lack of manners to be nigh intolerable.
That's not being frank, that's being an... Forget it. Do we really need to talk about this now?
Yes. I find such impropriety on your parts to be deeply unsettling. It concerns me greatly.
What do you want us to do? We were slaves. We never got to learn how to be proper like you.
Yeah, what he said. Maybe you missed how we were just focused on surviving.
Perhaps, but Kisara here demonstrates that it's quite possible for a Dahnan to learn proper manners.
That's because I was given the opportunity to learn. Moreover, my duties as a guardsman required it. Not every realm is like Menancia, as you well know.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair to hold us to some other city standards.
Exactly. You've got to remember what it's been like for us living under the Rena elsewhere.
I will concede that you do indeed make a valid point. It would appear, for all my espousing the virtues of equality between our peoples, I was still looking down on the two of you.
You don't need to beat yourself up. I wasn't that offended by what you said, man.
Nevertheless, I shall mind my words from here on out. Having said that, I do believe you two would still benefit from learning the basics of proper society. I would be more than happy to teach you both when we camp out, if you like.
Yeah, no, I'll pass. Acting all prim and proper isn't really my style.
If you say so. How about you, Law? Would you like to learn? Although I suppose my first task is to reform your attitude toward the idea of good etiquette.
You're not gonna let this go, are you?
Hey, let's stop for a minute.
What's up? You already tired?
My armor's pretty heavy. I think I need a little rest.
I second that. All of this walking is starting to take its toll on me as well.
What? You don't look it.
We can't spare the time. There's places we need to be. Mahag-Sar's capital, Niez, is our destination right now.
But if one of us collapses, it will only serve to slow us down. And in your case, Alphen is the only one who could carry you. Best to rest while you have the opportunity.
Enough already. I need a break, so we're taking one.
I don't need you fretting over me.
Fretting? Hey, it's not like I'm...
プレイステーション